What's up, my do life in a body you love chicks? Who wants to just eat all the things when they're really busy? Or you just get really busy and you didn't plan very well, and so you just end up in the drive-through. Like that was me. Like one of two things would take me off the rails, but they both had to do with how busy I was. But one was like poor planning, and then one was just like justifying what I was doing because I was so busy. And truth be told, I just really love junk food. I've talked to you guys about this several times. I love me some like fast convenience foods. I think that they're delicious. I'm probably the only health coach on the planet who thinks that pizza rolls are really delicious, especially if you put them in the oven and not the microwave. Such a delight. But I would have like the best of intentions. I would like plan all these like elaborate meals that I was going to make and like make whole Pinterest boards full of like paleo recipes, keto recipes, whatever it was. And then I would plan for so long, I didn't even have time to go acquire the food or cook the food for myself. And then I would go through the drive through. Or I would have healthy food already prepared, but I would get busy and forget to take it to work or just not feel like eating it. Like that would happen too. I'd leave my healthy food at home. I'd get to work, not have it with me, and then be like, fine, I'll just go down to the cafeteria and I'll get the best choice that I can. But then I wouldn't get the best choice that I could. That would have been an okay option, but that's not how my brain was. I was like, okay, all the healthy stuff down here looks like trash. I'm not eating that. I'll just get, that delicious Philly cheesesteak that they're whipping up over there or whatever. I would just go for the foods that I honestly just wanted to eat. And why am I confessing all of this to you guys? Okay, because if I can make the shift, anybody can make this shift. That is what the point is. I want to help you not be the busy binger, if that is currently how you would identify yourself. Because I promise you, if I can do it, you can. Like even my coworkers, listen, ER workers don't, as a general rule of thumb, take great care of themselves. And even that realm of humans would judge how awful I was to my body. Like, that's really what you're gonna have for dinner right now? I'm like, yeah. So if I can do it, you can do it. But here's the epiphany that I had the other day. I was having a hellacious day. I posted about this in my Facebook stories. It was like my Facebook ads account got hacked, which for those of you who don't run ads is kind of a really big nightmare. So not only does it like shut down my business, but these people can rack up a ton of money on my business debit card that goes right to my bank account and my PayPal and like all of these things. And luckily we like got it turned off and none of that happened. But I'm on the phone with Facebook at like midnight on a Friday. This is still going on throughout the weekend. At the time of this recording, I still don't even have access to my own ad account because of the hackers. So like that's its own nightmare. And at the same time, I won't get into the details, but urgently need a new roof. And that's going to be super expensive. And so I'm dealing with the roof guys over at my house at like 8 in the morning. I'm still dealing with Facebook stuff. I also have a dentist appointment that day, tons of client obligations. It was just like one of those days. I'm not like trying to whine, but I'm like painting the picture for you that it was like the Mondayest of Mondays. And because my food plan is so incredibly simple and I've made all the mindset shifts that I needed to make, I stuck with my plan that like I didn't even have to try. Like, and I got through the day and I thought, who who am I? Like that is so night and day from where I used to be. And I'm like, how did I make this shift? Like, what can I share with these women that I love so much to help them make this shift? And it dawned on me, it was both of those things. Both of those things had to be in place for me to be able to stick with my goals of eating healthy and moving my body and doing all the things, even when the day was a disaster. It was having a good plan in place and it was doing the mindset work. And I'll get into both of those a little bit more and try to make that a little bit more tangible for you. But like we have to be able to weather all of the storms and still take really good care of our body because you guys know how it is. You might have a calm week, but like the Monday I just described, okay, so it was a little extra, but isn't that kind of just life? It's always something. You guys are busy. Like some of you are working outside of the home. Some of you are building businesses. Some of you are raising little people. Some of you have aging parents that you're taking care of. Some of you are doing all the things I just listed simultaneously. Like, I get it. You're busy. So like, when is this magical time frame where everything's just going to line up and your boss is going to be amazing and give you off whatever time you need, and your husband's going to be a delight and he's just going to do all the things that need to be done around the house, and your children, they're going to be like whipping out their homework on their own. They don't need you to drive them anywhere. None of them are like taking their diapers off and smearing poop into the brand new carpet. None of that's happening. No, no, like there is no time period where that's coming for us, right? And so we kick the can down the road because we tell ourselves, like I did when I was in my busy season, when I was going through nursing school and working a full-time job and raising 2 toddlers and divorcing my ex-husband, and like, could it have been any busier? No, it couldn't have. Did that mean I needed to be eating pizza rolls every night for dinner at the nurse's station at 3 a.m? Also, no, but I was, and I was able to justify it very well because it was like, I literally don't have time. I am doing more important things right now. And on the surface, the things I was doing were more important. They were. But there was 2 things that I was ignoring. One, I had the time to do it because we all have the time to do it. Because the reality is that like, you can implement a plan to take better care of yourself, whether that's losing weight, building strength, decreasing inflammation, fixing your gut health. I don't know what like taking better care of yourself looks like for you, but no matter what it is, there are steps that you could implement that would take you nearly no extra time, and it would be better than not doing those things. So time is really never the thing. We need a plan that's doable no matter how busy of a day we have. Now, are there going to be crazy, crazy, crazy days, like crazy, way crazier than my Monday? You will live in Florida and you have to evacuate because there's a hurricane. Like, yeah, like obviously you're not following your plan. Hello, you're getting in the car, hit Chick-fil-A on the way out. Have a nice day. But by and large, for the majority of your busy days, your plan has to just work. It has to get where it's just smooth. It's just what you do. You don't have to put any thought into it. It's just like you're on autopilot. It just gets really, really, really easy and basic. Okay. So that's like the planning it out piece. You do need strategy to make it happen when you're super, super busy. But then there's like so much mindset work that goes into it because it's really easy to justify doing whatever we want. Or some of you bully yourselves for not doing the things that you should do. And that's also equally not helpful. I don't have that problem. I will justify eating anything that I want to eat, doing any bad thing that I want to do. I can justify it. I will find a reason why it is the smartest thing for me to be doing. And it makes perfect sense. And all of my justifications might make me feel better about what I'm doing. And they might sound really good, but they're not getting me to my goal. So who am I hurting with those justifications? Only myself, obviously. Now, if you're the opposite person, you're somebody who shames yourself, it also doesn't help you because then you just quit because you're like, I knew I couldn't do this. I don't deserve this. I have other things I need to be doing for everybody else. And again, the result is the same. The inner dialogue might be different, but the result is the same. And it's that we continuously give up on taking care of ourselves. So while when I was in my busy season, on paper, the things that I were doing, raising my children, getting my nursing degree, then once I graduated, working as a nurse, all of those things on paper might have been more important, but they weren't, is the reality. There's nothing that's more important than taking care of your health. Nothing. Because if you don't take care of your body, everything else on the list is for naught. Because if you can't function in your body, which is the end result eventually, and eventually comes quicker than we think. So if those of you who are listening who are 20, 40 sneaks up on you really fast. And since our brain views time as passing faster and faster as we age, it's like it's a thing that happens in your brain. I can't even imagine how fast 60 is coming for me because 40 got here so quick. So here's the deal. Like, time's passing quick. And if we don't take care of our bodies now, We're never going to. And then if we don't take care of our bodies, all of the people who are on our to-do list, all of the people that we're prioritizing over ourselves end up having to take care of us. So there is nothing, I mean, I'm not going to say nothing and I'm not going to say never, but there are very, 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 very few things that are more important than you taking care of your health. And when I got real with myself about that, and I was like, okay. And maybe lucky, maybe unlucky. I don't know how I should look at this. I look at it as being lucky now, although I didn't in the moment. Even I was only like 32, I think, and I was like my heaviest, which wasn't like super overweight, but it was really heavy for me. But my body was like giving me all kinds of red flags. I had all this autoimmune stuff going on, aches and pains and weird bladder spasms and dizzy all the time and just like whatever. Me and my sister are like random hot messes. And so I kind of like had to get my poop in a group because my body was like, what are we doing? And so it kind of forced me into reevaluating, like, what am I actually doing to myself? And through that process, I was able to see that, like, oh, there are actually some things I could change in very, very little time. And I literally don't have an excuse for doing it. But then I still had to work through all the other mindset stuff. Like, old habits die hard. I get it, ladies. I was raised by very sedentary people. I love you. I don't think my parents listen to my podcast anyways, but I love you if you're listening. But we're TV watchers. We just like, you work, you come home, you watch TV, and you eat food. Like, that's what we do. We eat food for fun. We eat food for celebration. We eat food because we're bored. We eat food when we're sad. Like, there isn't an emotion that we don't eat in my house. Like, eat them all. And so I had a lot of restructuring my habits and how I treat my body and things that I like to do. And like, there's so much to unpack. But when you do the mindset work, when you really start to shift how you view taking care of your body, it is literally not that hard. It felt like the hardest thing in the world for me. I was like, there's just no way. There's no way I can't eat like this. Like, I don't like healthy food. I did not like vegetables. My vegetables were canned corn and canned green beans, potatoes. Those three. Those were my vegetables. Didn't ever have a fresh pineapple until like well after I graduated. And I was like, what is this fruit? This is like amazing. And even my sister was like, that's a pineapple, you idiot. And I'm like, why does it taste so different? Oh, because it's not out of a can. Like, I'm telling you guys, my eating habits were total trash. So it was really, really hard for me. So I feel you when you're like, yeah, but I don't like healthy food. Yeah, but I don't like working out. I didn't either. And somehow I've transformed into somebody who still likes junk food, not gonna lie about it, but also likes healthy food, enjoys moving her body. It doesn't mean I want to go do my workout every single day. Like, let's be serious. But I miss it when I can't do it. And my body feels it when I can't do it. And I like it. And it's my happy place now. Leave me alone in my dingy little garage with my music playing. And that's like my me time now. And I would have never, I was not that person. So why am I rambling about this and sharing my story with you? Because I want to show you it's possible. No matter where your starting point is, you don't have to climb the whole mountain all at one time. Okay. You don't go from somebody who's like, I love eating fried chicken every day to somebody who's like, bring on the kale. Okay. You might not ever be the person who's like, bring on the kale. I'm not there yet. I don't think I'm ever going to be, but you can make steps in the right direction. But you have to make it fit your busy schedule, or else things are going to keep happening and you're going to keep ending up in the drive-through. Like, duh, because you're busy. So you got to have a plan that's going to work for your life forever. Don't do weird diet thingies where you're like, I can buckle down for 3 months and do this, even though it sucks. Don't do that. That's a waste of your time. You're a busy chick. That's a complete waste of your time. But if you want to stop the busy binging drive through, I just graze all day long, get a plan that makes sense for however busy you are. Do the meal prep in a way that's going to make sense for you and not feel like the most ridiculous time consuming thing on the planet. Eat things that you actually like that will help you get to where your goals are. And then you got to do all the mindset work too. And you can stop that whole I'm so busy and I just binge. I promise you, that you can. But those are the two things you got to do. You got to strategize well, make it realistic, and you've got to do the mindset work. And then I promise that you can get there. I absolutely promise that you can. Someday in the future, you will look back and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how far I've come. I was having this conversation with a client today who's like, the food, it just, I've never felt like this before. I've never felt like I'm not just wasting so much mental energy focused on trying to eat good and like, what are we going to have for dinner? And like, she's like, I didn't realize how much of my like mental energy it was taking all the time, because that's just always how my brain was. And now it's just like second nature. Like, yes, I take time and I plan my food, but it's just like second nature. It's not hard. I know what to do. It's kind of like there's this template in my brain that I just like work off of now. And it's like seamless. Like, I just like get it. And now that she's just getting that, we're working on some other pieces of her health. So we're just adding in little layers. But that's what it's like. It's like, you know all the things, but you don't know how to really implement them and carry it out. And when you get the right plan in place and you do the habit and the mindset work and you put the time in, okay, and you build the consistency, it's not going to happen overnight, but you keep going and you will get there, and you'll look back and you'll go, how am I so different in these situations? Like, I would have been binging so hard right now. How in the world am I even doing this? And it's beautiful. And I want that for you. And so if you have questions about that or anything that you need to like chat through, reach out, post it in Simplified Fat Loss, shoot me a message, do whatever you want to do about it. But I promise, if you are one of these busy bingers, as I used to call myself, the busier you get, the more you just binge and eat whatever because you're just so busy. I promise you can get over that. You absolutely can. All right, I'm done rambling now. I will see you next week.